Just like games, systems can become very rare and expensive. This has led to a boom of collectors trying to get their hands on some of these consoles. I'm your host, as always, K-Mac Time, and today we're going to take a look at some of the rarest and most expensive hidden gems in gaming consoles. Kicking off our list is the white Sega Game Gear. Now, there have been many special edition Game Gears with all sorts of awesome colors, but the white edition is by far the hardest one to come by. An extremely limited number of only 10,000 white Sega Game Gear handhelds were ever made. That's less than 1% of the 11 million units ever sold. On top of that, it was originally bundled with the hard-to-find Game Gear TV Tuner add-on, making this special edition sought after by collectors. If you want to get your hands on one, it'll cost you over a few $100s to track one down. Next up is a Pokemon Special Edition N64. No, not the Special Pikachu one, though that is the coolest in my opinion and one I've wanted forever, but an even more obscure Special Edition exists. The less flashy Pokemon Stadium Special Edition is incredibly hard to track down, especially in an NTSC version. It features Pokemon decals down both sides as well as a special Pokemon controller. It was originally bundled with a Pokemon VHS as well. If you're lucky enough to come buy one of these for a decent price, make sure you snag it up. At number 7 is a Sega Multi-Mega, which is an overlooked and mostly forgotten system. It can play both Sega Genesis carts as well as Sega CD games all in one instead of having to buy the Sega CD add-on. However, at the time, Sega was flooding the market with hardware and consumers were growing tired of having to drop more and more money on it, especially since this system did nothing that older hardware couldn't already do. Not to mention that the Sega Saturn was already on the market. The system did not sell well, but today's collectors love it for its convenience. It will cost you a few $100s to get a working version of this. Next up, we have the famous Nintendo Panasonic Gamecube model. Basically, this was Nintendo's answer to the PlayStation 2 and Xbox having the ability to play DVDs. It was only released in Japan and had an extremely hefty price tag of $500. As you can imagine, not that many were sold. Nintendo collectors everywhere would love to get their hands on one of these. If you could track down your own, prepare yourself to spend over $300 for it. Another hard-to-find Sega system is the This Is Cool Sega Saturn model. Now, I usually think that claim themselves to be cool turn out to be the exact opposite. This, however, is the exception. This Saturn is a translucent black and has a matching controller. It's rumored that only 50,000 were ever produced, making this one of the most collectible Sega Saturn pieces on the market, and collectors are always on the lookout for one. They typically sell between $200 and $300 when they come up online sales. Next up is a very rare version of the original PlayStation. To commemorate selling 10 million units, Sony released an extremely limited run of these midnight blue PlayStations. There's no documentation on just how many were ever built, but it's estimated between just a few thousand ever made it to consumers, making it one of the harder systems to find in Sony's history. They don't come up for sale that often, but when they do, they demand a huge top dollar price. The last one sold for over $350. To celebrate the launch of the 4th Resident Evil game in the main series, Capcom joined up with Sega to release an incredibly small run of limited edition hardware packs. The Resident Evil Code Veronica limited box, as they were known, came in 2 different colors. A clear red field version, and a clear dark purple stars version. Both of these included a matching controller as well as the game and some other extras. It is reported that only 1,800 of the clear red models were ever made and an even mere 200 of the purple stars model. So good luck tracking down one of these ultra rare systems. The PC Engine or TurboGrafx-16 system typically is already hard to come by as is. But there is an even more obscure version of the system that was only released in Japan, known as the PC Engine Shuttle. It was the same as the regular PC Engine, but shaped like a spaceship. Even though it was essentially just a reskinned normal system, it cost a lot more than the core PC Engine. Therefore, it totally flopped and sold very poorly. Today, it is on every Turbo collector's wish list and it demands a pretty penny. Our runner-up spot is another Japan exclusive. The Game Boy Light featured a backlit screen for the first time in Nintendo's handhelds. Why this never made it to North America is beyond me. We were stuck using the stupid worm lights and I hated that. Anyway, there were a few limited edition Astro Boy systems and they were damn hard to come by. Not sure why Nintendo chose Astro Boy, as there wasn't even an Astro Boy game in the Game Boy's library. Either way, these handhelds sell upwards of $200 to $250 today. And our number one goes to the coolest Nintendo item I've ever seen, a 24 karat gold Zelda Minish Cap Game Boy SP. In 2004, the newly arriving gold handheld was advertised as a sort of Willy Wonka chocolate bar type thing with a select few boxes out there supposedly containing a golden ticket, which could be exchanged for a solid gold Game Boy SP. Where these valuable and awesome SPs are today, though, is anyone's guess, as there is not a shred of evidence to confirm their existence. It is estimated that they do actually exist. They would be worth thousands of dollars. So keep your eyes peeled, but don't get your hopes up of ever finding one of these. Anyway, that's all we have time for. Let me know what you guys think about these systems. And obviously, there are countless more rare and special edition consoles out there. So leave me a comment letting me know what your favorite one is. Mine, like I said earlier, is the Pikachu N64. I've always wanted one of those, but could never seem to find one for a good price. But always, guys, remember to like this video if you guys enjoyed. Also, subscribe for more videos like this in your sub box. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always KMAC time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.